So that was Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy speaking to Spurs TV. Simon, over 200 million quid of lost revenue, and they can't recover it. How did Tottenham recover from that?
I struggle to see how it's 200 million. I mean, I bow to, obviously, Daniel's knowledge as an accountant. He's also almost sociopathic in his focus on figures. But if you look at the fact they've got 60,000 fans and what their ticket price might be over an 18-month period, it doesn't add up to 200 million quid. I know you'll take out other associated revenues, but let's just run with his argument. The idea that Tottenham, like any other club, it's not just Tottenham. Look at the Premier League last year. Look at the figures that are coming out. The clubs lost £1 billion between 20 of them. That means the average club is losing 50 million quid a year. Right? So the arguments about how football gets held together and how players shouldn't be part of the solution rather than the ultimate problem because of their wages is really something that challenges me, as you well know. But Tottenham, ultimately the debt they've got, keeps using the word ultimately, but the debt that they've got on the stadium, Daniel has borrowed money from the government, used the COVID relief fund, so got some very cheap money there. Obviously, they haven't been able to take advantage of some of the NFL money they wanted to take advantage of because the NFL teams were going to come and play at Wembley and help with some of the funding. But that doesn't alter the fact that the landscape is pretty similar to the majority of the other clubs. Yes, he's got a lot of debt, but so have Manchester United got a lot of debt. I guarantee you that the debt that Manchester United have got, is far more expensive to service than the debt that Tottenham Hotspur have got. Because if you look at the figures that have come out of Manchester United about the 500, 600, 700 million quid that the Glazers have loaded that club with debt, has been at very chunky, pricey, spiky prices. And I can guarantee you that Daniel Levy, whatever money he's borrowed to finance the development of this stadium, won't be anywhere near the servicing costs of Manchester United. So I have to push back a little bit against that. I think it's interesting. Of course, Daniel's doing an interview with Spurs TV, so it's a soft landing. It's not a forensic interview where he can get pushed through the mixer and made to substantiate some of those comments. He's right to say, and I think Trevor touched upon it, and Alex has spoken about this with us previously, I don't think there's a place for Harry Kane to move in this marketplace because they're not going to get him out for anything less than Daniel Levy's prepared to sell him for. And what Daniel Levy's prepared to sell him for is as much as he can rinse out of the person he's selling him to, and there becomes the never the twain shall meet. So Harry, on a 3-year contract, finds himself in a slightly invidious position of not really holding all the cards, despite some of the ridiculous assertions through the media that he does. He's not going to throw his toys out the pram, is he? He's the England captain. He's not built that way.
Yeah, but having said all that, Alex, you're in among supporters all the time. Will Spurs fans accept the careful approach that Levy's talking about in this window?
No, I think their patience has reached the end of their tether now. And just picking out some of what Daniel said there, he said that he shares fans' frustrations, shares Harry Kane's frustrations at not winning. Well, he doesn't arm managers with the ability to win. He doesn't provide the funds to challenge for Premier League titles. In my eyes, Mauricio Pochettino overachieved by leading Tottenham to a Champions League final. And this is why they're having so many problems tying down a manager, because Daniel Levy wants to live a champagne lifestyle on a Baby-Cham budget.
But you say that, Alex, you say that, but when they sold Gareth Bale, the immediate disposal of funds was redistributed by Daniel and by Villas-Boas into a haulix of transactions that didn't make a lot of sense, but didn't remove the idea that Spurs were ambitious to have a go. So,
yes.
So when you say you've got champagne lifestyle with beer money, I'm not sure that's right.
But when Pochettino wanted to strengthen the squad after the Champions League final, and he pointed out quite rightly, particularly defensively, it was an ageing squad, they needed reinforcements, he wasn't backed.
Yeah, but at the end of this chat with Spurs TV, Alex, Levy says that there's been money to spend and previous managers have not wanted to use it.
Well, I'd like to hear from those previous managers.
But so who's lying then? I mean, okay, if we are really talking explicitly, we have to be talking about Pochettino with that comment, right? Because it really is either Pochettino or Mourinho, yeah? So it's not likely to be Mourinho. It's more likely to be Pochettino. So who's to be believed? The incumbent Spurs chairman has been here for 20 years, or a manager that's come and gone and 5 minutes ago was indexed himself back to a job because he wasn't happy in PSG?
Well, Simon, you said to me when Mourinho went, you turned to me that day when you and I were on talkSPORT that morning, Mourinho sacked, and you turned to me and you said, money.
Yeah, of course.
It's about money.
But that's all. But come on, that's all football's about, isn't it? Everything's about money. Everything's about money. And Daniel's an accountant. He's a narrow-eyed, sociopathic driller down on the finances of the football club, and that's his job. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, if he has decided that Mourinho is not the future, what is the point of prevaricating? If Mourinho's a problem and you're just going to compound the issue by allowing him to nick a tiddly-top trophy like the League Cup and use it as a justification for his existence, then you put yourself in a difficult position. I kind of admire the brutality of it. I kind of admire the ruthlessness of making a decision, because players are just as ruthless when they want to leave.
Yeah, I think you've got to look at where Spurs are here and now, and they're bringing in a manager that's unproven in the Premier League, a manager that's almost unproven full stop. He's got a huge job to retain players, to let players go. I'm looking at players like Heung-min Son. Now, everyone's talking about Harry Kane. Heung-min Son's a world-class player, in my opinion. He's not going to want to wait around for somebody else to get used to the Premier League to then see if he can win silverware. You look at the way that they've treated Danny Rose. You look at the way that they've been treating Dele Alli. I think they're not getting the best out of their assets they've already got. Never mind going into recruitment. So for me, there's a lot of problems at Tottenham, but some of the fundamentals are in place. They've got the best stadium in the country. They've got a fantastic academy. They should be bringing players through similar to what you're seeing at Manchester United and at Manchester City. It's not happening quickly enough, and the fans are getting frustrated.
Well, Alex, I tell you what, the one thing that this Fabio Paratici will need to do as soon as he gets in as director of football is spin plates on sticks, isn't it?
Yeah, and get the manager sorted. But is there anything more Spursy than sacking Jose Mourinho and then ending up hiring the guy that Mourinho has replaced at Roma? I mean, that's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. It is. It beggars belief, actually. So Daniel Levy speaking to Spurs TV. We shall see what happens, and the latest information on Paulo Fonseca as the Spurs continue to close in on the former Roma boss. But we've been hearing that now for days.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.